Yay! Okay, we're all back in the kitchen. There's loads to talk about, but I know she's watching right now. Happy birthday, mommy! My mom's birthday is today. Yes.
Nice.
My mom has added another year, and last year she was 60, so you know how old she is. But she won't let me say how old she is. But
You said it without saying
yeah, exactly. But happy birthday, mommy! God bless you. Thank you for all you do, all you've done, and may God keep you in good health, strength, and keep you beautiful and smiling for us all.
Is she watching?
She always watches.
You haven't called us this year to pray for us.
She always watches. She forgets.
You know, I like her prayers.
Oh.
Call us and pray for us.
Happy
She will.
birthday,
She
Ma.
will.
May you
Happy
live
birthday.
long and prosper. I think it's also talked about Olowo Neon's birthday, mom's birthday as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Happy birthday to all the mummies.
So, while we're talking about mothers, parents, us as parents as well, there's something that came to mind yesterday after the video of a certain activist.
Is that us as parents?
You're a parent. too.
Amen.
Hey, do you know how many twins you're born in?
Amen.
Hey, we have already put twins inside
no.
you. All right,
In any case,
sorry.
there was a video by an activist yesterday in Delta State, in Asaba to be specific. He was at this primary school where he noted that there was something very peculiar about all the kids. Now, the kids, we're talking about kids that are under 12 years old, 11 years old, 10 years old. Now, he noticed that there was a certain scar on their forearm, and he wondered what they were. Upon investigation, he found out that these kids were being initiated, to put the story short, into a cult that they had built themselves called Snakebite. So they were initiating each other. Each person initiated had to initiate somebody else. And each kid initiated had to initiate somebody else. And they had it was like building a small army.
Goodness.
Unfortunate
A small army.
Now, the problem here is, this is not even secondary school. These are kids in primary school. The authorities will take care of that and everything. Yes, I can imagine that the education ministry has to also get involved. However, us as parents now, bringing back our parents and us, what responsibility do we have as to our kids? Because whether they like it or not, they will go out, they will interact with other children, they will have these interactions. How can we be rest assured at home that our kids are good, moral, upstanding kids? Oh no, don't worry, Shalewa won't do that, that kind of thing. 61 kids he counted with the scar.
61.
61 kids.
Goodness me.
He actually made one of them perform the initiation on him. They used very ordinary material, paper,
Goodness me.
paper, to incinerate their forearm and then get that scar.
So they were doing that on themselves.
Yeah.
It's not like there was an adult running
It
all
was
that.
not adults, yeah, all kids. And it was very worrying as a parent.
It is very definitely worrying. Now, you can't tell me, you can't tell me that there weren't parents that questioned that scar on their child's hand when those children got home. There's no way a scar of that magnitude would be on a hand. It wasn't even in a hidden place.
No,
it's not
it was
like
just forearm there.
behind or the leg. It's on the hand. I'm like, so it got to 61 before someone noticed
But then
and
again,
decided to
your
pull
one
back.
kid will come home and it's
It's
just
what was guy. You just think they're
But
playing
when you
wrong.
go to school and see everybody having it, like, okay, something's up
No.
here.
If something like that happens, I think a lot of parents, when they see scratches and things like that on their kids, they just overlook it. I think parents need to actually take 4 eyes to look at things now and do more to investigate. I get it that every parent is busy, there's a lot that's going on, but I think the question of whether the kids know what right and wrong actually is now is very important. So have you actually discussed or had a conversation with your kids to say, oh, this is bad, this is good, or do you just expect them to know?
So now this is what I'm going to say this, right? As much as, yes, I said the kids were doing it with themselves or for themselves or by themselves, right? I don't think this is something that went on without an adult influence, because the first kid that did that saw it from somewhere.
Somewhere.
Do you understand? Saw it from somewhere. Either it was told to them directly or indirectly, maybe from a movie or something.
Perhaps.
Do you understand? And I will always say this, as much as, yes, we say, okay, fine, we can talk to our kids only to an extent when they go out, they influence, interact with other people who actually have influence on them. The influence you have on a kid, on your kid, you cannot overemphasize it. So the same way they're picking, setting bad habits,
From
exactly, the same
everywhere.
way you can instill setting behavior.
should be the bigger
So the same
influence.
way they can influence them negatively, they can also influence other kids positively. So I would still say the first interaction with the parents for any kid at that age the onus is on the parents to make sure certain foundations are laid.
Very good. Very good.
This is very worrisome, to be honest, because I mean, I have 2 girls, and then I'm wondering, imagine it could be anyone, right? But we don't hope, we don't pray for our kids to fall into the wrong hands. But like I'll always say, communication is key. Our relationship with our kids, even from a tender age, is very, very important. It's very critical. Even experts advise that it's one of the most critical elements in disciplining and raising a child, because that is even, and also, it's not just in the communication, it is also on how we as parents behave in the house. Our mode of conduct, the way we talk on the phone with people on the phone, whether it is our employees, whether it is with our friends, whether it is with anybody. Because kids pick up on these little things. They pick up on everything, right? They pick up on everything. So we are our first point of, interaction, contact, communication, everything, we as parents. So we have a huge role to play. As much as every other aspect of the society has a role to play, we, the parents, have a huge role to play as well. And this is very, very worrisome. I mean, how does your kid come back and then has his car and then you don't check up on it?
No, I would actually say, to be honest, as much as we're saying, okay, how can it? First of all, it was paper cuts. It was a paper cut.
They were burned.
They were
burned. But he said that was done with paper.
I don't know how they came about this technique, but there's
scary.
I don't know. Do you know you can burn your skin with salt and ice, for instance?
Yes,
Oh, goodness me.
So there are these techniques that these kids come up with. And
Now, the truth is, there was
things like
something
that.
you said about, parents being a first point of call. Now, there's a lot that happens on TV, in certain Nigerian movies and the like, that kids are being allowed to watch.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening in even international, the Hollywood movies that kids are being allowed to watch.
Even
There's
in
a
their
reason
books.
why. Exactly.
In their books now.
There's a lot. So the only thing we can do is instill certain values and pray that, no child just comes their way and just erases everything you've done. Because I've said it here before that may your child just not come across the wrong influence for 1 month. Everything you've done for 10 years, may it not be erased.
I still struggle with that, but yeah, I mean. No, seriously, I do. I struggle.
Peer pressure is a powerful
I'm not saying it's not, but yeah, still foundation. I went to boarding school all through my life. I know there were
look how she turned out.
No, I'm just saying because my parents were not there the whole time, right? And it was, but we have to go. So yeah.
How did you survive?
That's what I'm just saying. They're just things that you see, even as a kid at that time, you know that this is wrong. You might be tempted, but in end of it, there were several things happening. But
Let's take it from the lady who went to Uniben and came out
unscathed.
unscathed. Stay tuned, we've got more. Share with us your opinion. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigerianTVC. We will be back.